Bonus review time this week, so let's get right into talking about Never Let Go. So Never Let Go is a psychological thriller and horror film that stars Halle Berry as the main lead. It's been quite a while since I've seen her in the film, so it's good to see her back. Oh wait, I guess it hasn't been too long since we saw her in John Wick 3. I totally forgot. Well, Halle Berry does a wonderful job in playing her role as a mother to two boys living in a twisted world. She was an interesting character and a motivational force in wanting me to witness the story until its conclusion. And we also have Percy Daggs IV and Anthony B. Jenkins, who played the side roles as their sons in this film. Credits to both of them as well, because they had many moments throughout the film that wouldn't have worked without a good level of acting chops, and they both excelled expectations in many sequences. So overall, I thought the casting here was excellent. Now, how is the story for Never Let Go? All in all, I found it to be interesting, but not without some pretty big flaws. To start off with the positives, there's some fun themes and ideas that revolves around the narrative here, which I found to be entertaining for the most part. We get to witness some subtle shifts in perspectives through the different characters' lens, which I have to say were pretty darn effective, as it had me second guessing on how this story would end up concluding multiple times. And the cinematography and setting that's being used here really helps to bolster this narrative and my engagement level with the world that's being built here, so props to that too. Now let's talk about the negatives to this story. For me personally, I thought the hour and 42-minute runtime of the story that's being told here was a solid length. But then again, I'm into slow burners, which I know won't be everyone's cup of tea. So yeah, if you're not into stories that have slow build-ups, you won't appreciate the way acts 1 and 2 are executed, and you might find yourself zoning out at times. This is also being heavily advertised as a thriller and horror through the trailers, and I have to say, you don't really get heart-pumping segments all too often. These elements are subtly used here and are sprinkled throughout the narrative, so this film definitely isn't for those who just want to see a popcorn flick of jump scares and thrills. Now, the biggest gripe I had with this film here is how vague the story can be with major elements even after the conclusion. Things aren't explained very well, and it's sort of left to the viewer's interpretation, and I don't think this is one of those films that benefit from this format. By the end of the screening, I started thinking more about the film, and I was left confused and frustrated as to why certain elements weren't explained or touched upon at all. With that being said, you start to realize post-screening that some twists and turns are literally there for the sake of keeping the audience's attention level high rather than boosting the story's narrative. So there's no doubt about it, this is a B-tier story through and through, and you'll witness some major flaws in pivotal moments and the overall direction the story leans towards until its conclusion. My final score for Never Let Go is 6.5 out of 10. I still had a pretty solid time during the screening. I think there are some major issues with the narrative here. I didn't really enjoy the story direction and would have liked to see a more definite conclusion, but the heart and souls poured from the cast members and the great visuals here allow me to forgive the many plot holes and messy moments that are left unanswered. Thanks for checking out this review. Again, there's a lot of exciting films coming out soon, so stay tuned. More reviews coming soon for the Cinematic Experiences channel, but until then, peace.